Bad blood has been brewing in the WWE for months for many wrestlers, and tonight it all comes ahead at the Bad Blood PLE, and I have yet to give any predictions on who I think is winning and losing. Plus, I think there's a lot more than just winners and losers we're getting here tonight. We may be getting possible returns and maybe even debuts. So let's jump into all my predictions for tonight's Bad Blood. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, this has definitely been bad blood, as this has been brewing since last SummerSlam in 2023 when Damian Priest almost cashed in his Money in the Bank during Finn Balor's world title match against Seth Rollins. Seth, of course, retained. Finn blames that on Damian, teasing his cash in. It all came to a head, and now we're finally getting these two one-on-one. Now, I don't think we're going to see Rhea, Dom, or Liv Morgan in this match, because they do have their own match later in the night. Now, we don't know the exact match order. There is rumors out there, but of course, WWE has only confirmed that our main event will be the tag team match between the Bloodline and Roman and Cody. So we could kind of just guess, or you could go by what the rumors are stating, is that we are getting Damian and Finn pretty early in the show, not opening, but I do think that we see JD and possibly Carlito in this match, and I do think Finn Balor will use them to beat Damian, basically the old Judgment Day playbook. And I think that they're going to go that route because they need to show Damian that this was what he always used to do. And I know they've done that already in multi-people matches with Rhea and Damian versus Liv and Dom and other types of that feud going on, but I definitely think that we are going to see the Judgment Day use Judgment Day tactics, and as a lot of people would call them, straight trash tactics, to get the win here. So Finn Balor, he's getting that dub. Damian, I think this feud's not over yet. Let's talk about the other side of this feud. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Dirty Dom's going to be hanging in a shark cage, and we haven't seen this since I believe Enzo Amore was hanging in the cage for Cass and whoever the heck that match. I don't even remember what that feud was, to be honest. And this is going to be really interesting just because Dom, he's had the whole storyline where he went to jail, prison, whatever the heck they refer it to, and he hates being locked up, so he's going to be hanging in the shark cage. So that's going to add a lot of dramatic effect to this, and I'm really looking forward to how Dom reacts while he's hanging in the cage. Is he going to try to even help Liv while he's up there? Is he going to try to drop a weapon? Is he going to try to squeeze out of the cage and fall down? Like, we don't know what can happen here. Like, even though he's in the shark cage, I'm sure that he could probably figure out some way, somehow, to help Liv Morgan here. And I honestly think that's what he's going to try to do, but I don't think it's going to be successful. Whatever he's going to do, I think it's going to backfire, and it's going to help Rhea Ripley in the end, and Rhea is going to regain the Women's World Championship. Now, I do want Liv to retain, but I think that they're going to move on from this feud. But a lot of people are speculating. I've seen a lot of people talk about Raquel Rodriguez returning here, former tag team partner of Liv Morgan. They were tag champs together, and that she could help even the odds. Of course, Raquel has a history with Rhea Ripley, so I could see that happening, but I'm going to go with we don't see Raquel tonight, and we see Liv lose her title to Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax, Bayley for the Women's WWE Championship. Nia Jax beat Bayley after winning the Queen of the Ring tournament and defeating her at SummerSlam. Now, here we are a few months later, and we are getting the rematch that Bayley so rightfully deserves, but I don't think it's going to pan out well for Bayley. Now, Bayley has been working her way back up slowly to get this match against Nia. She finally has got it, but there's not a lot of hope, especially with Tiffany Stratton lurking around with that Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, we did see yesterday on SmackDown, Nia made Tiffany Stratton promise that she won't cash in or turn on Nia Jax. I don't think that she's going to hold up to her end, Tiffany. I think Tiffany will eventually cash in on Nia. I don't think Bayley will win here, unfortunately. Do I think Tiffany will cash in here tonight after Bayley loses to Nia, which is my prediction for this match? No, I don't think she does cash in. I think she might tease it by like looking at her briefcase, kind of like what they did last night on SmackDown, and they've done a few times already with her. She looks at the briefcase, looks around, looks like she's going to cash in, but Nia somehow turns around or gets up and realizes what's about to happen, and it doesn't happen. I definitely could see that happening tonight, or maybe we even go a little bit step further on this one, where she looks like she's about to hand in the briefcase, and that's when Nia fully turns around when she's reaching out to hand the briefcase to the ref. I could totally see them just going a tiny bit further here instead of just copying what they did last night, because that is exactly what they did last night. So we'll probably get a little bit step further of the tease of a cash-in, but I don't think it's going to be a full cash-in. I don't think it will happen tonight. But I have Nia Jax retaining and no cash-in, but the rift between Tiffany and Nia is going to continue to build tonight. Now, what everyone's speculating and the rumors are stating will be tonight's opening matchup, and a lot of people wanted this to be the main event based on the story that has been built up to this match tonight, and I would agree. I thought the storyline was a bit more interesting for this Hell in a Cell more than the tag team match, but we'll talk about that tag team main event in a minute because I think a lot's going down there. This Hell in a Cell is going to be hopefully very vicious. I feel like out of every Hell in a Cell match we've gotten within the last 10 years, this story is the one that makes the most sense going into Hell in a Cell. Now, I said 10 years, and there's a lot of Hell in a Cells that happened in those 10 years. So I'm sure one of you guys will point out one of them, like, hey, but what about this one? And I'm sure it was great. But for me personally, the feud build up to this has been the best build when it comes to a blood feud. And that's what makes this Bad Blood even better. This is literally a blood feud, a feud where you can feel the tension anytime they are near each other. It is incredible. So I'm super hyped, and I'm hoping, as Punk has stated himself, that they do bring the Hell in a Cell back to its old glory of the violent, the match that ends the best feuds, like just the match that you would expect to end a blood feud like this. A match that will leave you, questioning, how are they still even standing? How are they even still throwing all their might at each other? I want this to be not a GCW bloodbath, nothing like that, but give me that vintage Hell in a Cell, that little bit of blood. Give me where it looks like they're trying to really wreck each other apart. They don't need to go up on top of the cell. If they do, that's a plus. If they leave the cell, that's a plus. But just give me the violence of Hell in a Cell. There's many Hell in a Cells in the past that just doesn't feel like Hell in a Cell. Looking at you, Edge and Finn, even though it got a little scary at the end of that one when it came to some injuries possibility. I really just hope that this is a violent, as WWE violent as we can get with Hell in a Cell, because I feel like the Hell in a Cell hasn't been in that glory in a while. And I got Punk walking out the winner here. I really think Punk needs to pull off the win here. This is what, his 5th singles match since returning a year plus ago, or coming up on a year. I definitely think that he needs to get the big win here. And yeah, I'm ready to see him move on from Drew McIntyre as well. So Punk wins, done with Drew. What's everyone's thoughts on that? Now for the main event, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu of the Bloodline. I'm a little torn on exactly what I think is going to happen. I think there's multiple things that can happen tonight. The main one being, I think Jimmy Uso returns tonight. I don't think we see The Rock. I think that Jimmy will return, and I think that they'll slowly build to The Rock returning, maybe by Crown Jewel, but I don't think we see him tonight. And I could be 1,000% wrong, honestly, and I hope I'm wrong, because The Rock is The Rock, and he's going to cause massive interest in the show. So I would not be mad if The Rock shows up tonight. I just don't think he does. If he's there backstage, cool, but I don't know. I have a weird gut feeling we won't see him on camera, and I could be 1,000% wrong, and I'll be okay with that. If he does show up, I don't know where they're going to take the story, but I do think that we see Jimmy Uso tonight. My main thing is Jimmy Uso returns tonight. I don't think we see Paul Heyman yet. Possible they both return tonight, but I think we're just getting Jimmy. Then I think they're going to slowly build to having Jay join them, and we're going to get Bloodline at War Games. I think that's been a lot of people's speculation for months now, but I do think that Jimmy returns tonight. I think that's the only thing we get here. I don't think we get Hikuleo or Zilla or The Rock. I don't see any of that. I just see Jimmy returning, kind of helping run away the Bloodline after Cody and Roman win. So I do have Cody and Roman winning. Obviously, this might be the best. Can they coexist? Because of the story between Cody and Roman, I think the match is going to be good. I do wish the Hell in a Cell was the main event, but there's just so much that can happen here. So a lot of people are speculating that this is the main event over Hell in a Cell due to The Rock probably coming back, but I think it makes sense for Jimmy. But we've been waiting for Jimmy for quite some time. I thought he was going to come back on the USA debut of SmackDown. Didn't. It's been a while, and there was a lot of speculation about Jimmy. His dad, Rikishi, had tweeted out prayers for Jimmy a few weeks back. Then reports came out that nothing's wrong with Jimmy from the dirt sheet, so who the fuck knows at this point. But I do hope it is Jimmy tonight, because I feel like tonight would be the perfect timing to bring him back. You do have Crown Jewel before War Games, so you still have time to do all of this, but I think tonight is the night to pull the trigger on Jimmy Uso, and I have Roman and Cody getting the win over the Bloodline. I think it'll be a great main event and a great PLE overall. What is everyone's predictions? Let me know down in the comments below, but these are my Bad Blood 2024 predictions.